Hey guys, this is a short video on how to change engine oil on a motorcycle. This one happens to be a Vulcan 2000 Classic LT, and I like to make a few points on the video here I'll be making as do ensure you wear your safety equipment like gloves and eyeglasses where applicable. I've been doing this for so long. I haven't used any gloves or eyeglasses in this one, but please do that. And the second thing is I've used the term drain nut or drain bolt, which I'm referring to the drain plug here, and there are three on this vehicle. So keep that in mind. Well, keep watching. And this should be applicable to all the years that this bike has been active. It's a 2000 cc engine, and it requires three nuts to be broken loose, and I can show them to you where they are. And there is an oil filter that needs to be changed. Now the first two nuts, you can access them from the right side of the motorcycle, which is where the brake is, the brake pedal. So if you come down here like that, and you see those two nuts that are there, they are 17 mils and they need to be broken loose. I have already broken them loose, so I'll just show you when they are open, and then the oil drains out. The next one is a 14 mil, which is on the left side, which is where your foot shifter is for the gears. So if you come down here, like that, and you see this one here, it's a 14 mil that needs to be broken loose as well, right? And it's a very easy process. What you need is 17 mil, like so. The other one is a 14 mil, which is attached right now to this instrument, and I was able to break it loose with just these. Sometimes they are a little tight, and you might want to get a little bit of wiggle room on your bike, right? Also, you would need an oil pan, and the oil here is 10W40. I got this from the local Canadian tire. It needs to have this JASO MA. I guess that's what it is. That is, I've read it through, and it's there in the manual, and all the forums that are there on this bike, they recommend it too. It's a little expensive, I guess, than the regular 10W40, but again, it will help you keep good engine life, as well as shifting would be better. So this is the first time I'm going to be changing oil on this bike, so bear with me if there is any small goof ups, I guess. So I'll place the pan below here, and I'm going to open up this oil fill tab on top, like so. Just like that. You got to make sure that you have turned on the bike and have it had running for a little bit of time, so bring it up to its operating temperature. That's what the manual suggests, so that the oil is all heated up and it's ready to come. Make sure that you are wearing proper protective covering on your hands, and goggles as applicable when you do it, when you go underneath, right? um, and make sure it is not very hot underneath, otherwise you might burn yourself. So let us unplug the first nut like so. So open it, be careful because there's little room here and you don't want that nut, and there's a crush washer as well. You don't want it to fall down into the liquid. So it's coming out now. You can see it's trickling down. There you go. There, and let it sit there for it to drain out. And the second one here, probably have to loosen it up a little. Ready for the next one, again a 17 mil. This was sitting in a little tighter than the other one, so I've had to use sorry, just trying to bring it out with my hand right now. There, and there you go, from the second one. So we'll let it sit there and drain itself out, and we can go over to the second side, sorry, the other side, and remove the 14 mil while this one drains out. So I believe it has around 4.7 quarts of oil in it, if you have the filter right. So let that one drain out, and once it is done, we can remove the filter as well and put these things on back, and then fill it up. And on this side, which is the pedal shifter, we will remove this 14 mil. It has also got a crush washer. My pan is kind of big, so it is able to span across all the three nuts. This one is pointed down, yeah, so it comes straight down. There you go, the last one. Alright guys, it's been a couple of minutes now since I unscrewed the last nut. The first two bigger nuts on the inside, they have stopped draining. So what we could do is probably get the nuts back to where they belong. Put the first one. Right guys, time to tighten up the drain nuts here. So I do not have the torque spec on these, so I'm going to hand tighten them. There were crush washers along with each one of those, so if they are, I would recommend you change them if they are in a bad state, but if you could reuse them, which in my case was true, because the last oil change had been done about 6,000 kilometers prior, and the crush washers were looking good for me. and then this one. Then the last one here is the 14 mil. I'm going to tighten that. And the last thing to remove here would be the filter, which you can access right here from the front. I'm doing it from the right side. I have broken it loose. So if you see there underneath, I have my oil pan lined up just underneath the filter. So if it starts gushing out, I don't think it will. There should be a trickle though. There. It's a little tight in there, so you'll have to apply a little bit of torque. It's loose now, and you can see the oil has started to flow down. I'll let it drain for a bit before I pull the filter out. And for the filter itself, I picked this up again from Canadian Tire up here in Calgary, and they were able to run the bike on their system, and they gave me this one here, which is MOPH6607. It's a Moto Master, which is a Canadian Tire brand. You could pick up Castrol or Fram or whatever. It's available there, but I picked this one up. So I'm just gonna take this and then put it where it belongs. So we have all the oil drained out, and the nuts, the drain nuts have been reapplied back, 3 of those. The filter needs to go in there. Again, I'm not very sure on the torque spec on the filter, or if there is one any. So I'm just going to hand tighten it to the extent I would be able to remove it later again, and not doing any damage to the threads or grooves on the filter. Yeah, so let's do that, and then we can get back to filling oil. And the last part now is to fill this thing up with oil. What I've done is the manual suggests, or rather stipulates, that the bike needs to be straight when filling the oil, as well as measuring it, because if it's tilted, then you may actually end up adding more oil to it. In case you do, you will probably need to use a syringe, or maybe use a drain bolt again to drain some of it out. So I use these pieces of wood here. They are 2x6 and then cut. So the bike now is kind of almost straight, but it is a little bit, just a little bit tilted, so that it is able to maintain the weight. Again, there probably would be better ways of doing it, but this is mine. I removed the dipstick from the fill neck, and I'll be using a fill funnel like so, and I got this from Canadian Tire again. So I'll put that here, and I'll start adding oil to it. As I'm filming, I won't probably be able to hold it and do justice to the video at the same time, so I'll fill it up, and once it is done, we'll measure it. So if you see this here, there's a corrugated section right at the bottom there, So the oil needs to be in between those two marks, the lower one and the upper one, and you should be good. So I'll start filling the oil quart by quart until I am almost like 4.5, 4.7, and then we will measure it again to make sure we are at the right oil limit, and then we can close the neck. And I believe you need to screw and again I'll have to check the manual. You have to the fill stick, the measuring stick, you'll have to screw it in to measure it properly. So yeah, I'll get started with that. For filling the oil, I'm pointing you right at the manual there. This is a Canadian bike, so I'm going to be doing it in liters. So it's 4.4 liters when the filter is not removed, which is not true in this case. It is 4.6 liters when the filter is removed, which we have done. Now I have lined up these 5 bottles or cans of oil, and I'm gonna start filling these one by one. I guess each one of them is 946 ml. So I guess we would be running up right into the 5th can, give or take, which is when I will actually stop filling and then measure with the dipstick. Right, there goes the first can. Dropping it slowly so it doesn't spill out of the bottom, because it is viscous fluid. So far so good, no problems, nothing is coming out of the bottom. That is our first can. I'll do the rest and then I'll come back to the video, because you don't need to just see oil being put in. Now for the last one of the cans, I actually filled pretty much most of it, but I left just a little bit here. I'm not sure if you're able to see the mark of oil there. And then I filled in the dipstick here, put in the dipstick here. It needs to be screwed all the way in, like so. And then we'll take a look at the marking of oil. Yeah, looks pretty good there. So I'm gonna run the engine now, because the filter will also take up a little bit of oil, and then do a test again. So I've started the bike, and I'll let it run for a couple of minutes so oil recirculates, and then give it a few minutes to cool down, and then check the oil fill again and see where the mark is at. If it is between the 2 marks, we should be all good. So I've left this bike to cool down after shutting it off, and I checked the dipstick, and the oil is just below the top mark, so we are good here. Yeah. Hope this video helps you for filling oil, changing oil and filter on your bike as applicable. Feel free to shoot your suggestions, and hope this helps you. Take care, guys. Bye bye.